Hello, my name is Brian Miller. I'm the color commentator for Reno Wrestle Factory. And usually I try to stay out of the backstage politics, the front office goings on, because I don't want to get involved in that. It's none of my business, so I steer clear of it. But there's been a miscarriage of justice, and I have to say something about it. November 19th, Evelyn Mount Community Center in Reno, Nevada. Headlock on Hunger. Paul Isadora will defend his SPW title against Jody Kristofferson. Why? It doesn't make any sense. It's not logical. It's utter garbage if you think about it, because Jody Kristofferson, last time he was in an RWF ring, was left in a unconscious heap. The referee had to step in and end the match. He was turning blue. He was choking to death. He left an utterly defeated man. Who was victorious? It was Malachi. Malachi was victorious. Malachi did what he needed to do to win that match. And the fact that he's not in the main event at Headlock on Hunger is a travesty. Now, I don't blame Paul Isadora for accepting the match against Jody Kristofferson. I understand it. That makes sense. Jody is obviously a weakened opponent, and someone who can be easily defeated by a guy like Paul Isadora, and I don't take anything away from Paul Isadora. He's a monster. But he knows, like I know, like you all know, that it'd be a lot easier to defeat a guy like Jody Kristofferson than it would to be step into the ring and face Malachi, who is just utter destruction personified. So Paul Isadora took the easy match. He signed his name on the contract. He knows better than to step into the ring with Malachi, and personally, I don't blame him. And I don't blame Jody Kristofferson. If you were offered a shot at the SPW title, you would take it. It's prestige. It means something. It's a title that actually means something in this business, in this region, in this state, and in California also. And I don't blame Jody Kristofferson for accepting that challenge. It's not his fault. But deep down inside, he knows he doesn't deserve it. So where does the blame lie? Well, the blame lies with two parties. First, with the Reno Wrestle Factory, my employer. Now, I don't want to risk my job. But like I said, I have to say something because it's disgusting what's going on. The Reno Wrestle Factory has allowed SPW basically to book their main event. SPW handpicked Jody Kristofferson to face Paul Isadora instead of Malachi because Jody Kristofferson's a pretty boy. Jody Kristofferson's an all-American kid. Jody Kristofferson is someone we can all look up to, right? And let's face it, maybe Jody Kristofferson could sell more tickets than Malachi. It's a possibility, but it's not fair. And also, Reno Wrestle Factory should have a little bit of balls and stand up to SPW and say, look, Malachi deserves a title shot, not Jody Kristofferson. Are they going to do that? No, they're not going to do that. Because they want that title in this promotion. The powers that be at RWF want the SPW title because it means something, because it's prestigious. But the ultimate blame ends with SPW and their title committee, who basically booked this match for Reno Wrestle Factory for the reasons I stated. Now, I've been told that the reason why this match was booked instead of Malachi versus Paul Isadora is because the dog collar match was not sanctioned by SPW. with their heads buried in the sand, I know they've seen the match. They're just ignoring it because they want to, because it suits their purposes. It's beneficial to them to ignore it. Pretend like it didn't happen. But it did happen. Now, Jody Kristofferson versus Paul Isadora for the SPW title, that's going to be a great match. A match worthy of any card in Northern California, Nevada, the West Coast, anywhere in the nation. It would be a great match. But it could have been a better match. It could have been a fairer match. It could have been the right match at the right time. It could have been Malachi versus Paul Isadora. And the fact that it's not, it kind of just makes me a little sick.